Girl who borrowed other people's dreams. Every night, when the clock struck 12, a secret unfolded at the end of Maple Street. While the world slept in shades of gray, a tiny shop materialized out of the mist. It had a crooked roof and a sign that pulsed with a soft amber glow. Dreams for borrowing. Clara, a girl who felt her own life was as dull as a rainy Tuesday, stood at the threshold, her heart racing. Inside, the shop was a cathedral of glass. Thousands of jars lined shelves that stretched into the shadows above. A tall, spindly man named Whispero moved silently between the aisles. He didn't use a ladder, he simply floated. "Careful, little one," Whispero murmured, his voice sounding like rustling silk. Dreams are light as air, but they carry the weight of entire worlds. Clara's first borrowed dream was a masterpiece. As soon as she opened the lid in her bedroom, she was whisked away to a kingdom made of spun sugar, where she soared through peppermint storms on the back of a shimmering dragon. It was vibrant, loud, and perfect. When she woke up the next morning, the sun seemed too dim and her breakfast too quiet. Night after night, Clara returned to Whispero. She explored underwater cities built of pure light and danced in libraries where the books sang. But during the day, Clara became a ghost. She yawned through her lessons and ignored her friends' invitations to play. Reality felt like a faded photograph, and she couldn't wait for the sun to set so she could escape again. One evening, Clara noticed a jar tucked away in a corner behind a heavy velvet curtain. It was made of midnight black glass and felt cold to the touch. The label read, "Do not dream alone." Whispero was busy in the back, so Clara, driven by a hunger for a dream deeper than any she'd known, tucked the jar under her arm and hurried home. Back in her bed, Clara twisted the lid. Instead of a beautiful world, a terrifying vacuum pulled her in. She didn't arrive in a kingdom. She fell into a void where the sky was cracking like glass. The beautiful dreams she had borrowed before were melting into gray sludge, and the ground beneath her feet was dissolving into a swirling abyss of ink. In the middle of the chaos, Clara saw a boy sitting on a crumbling rock, his face buried in his knees. "I can't find the way out," he sobbed. It was Soren, a boy from her school who had been sleepwalking for weeks. He was trapped in this collapsing nightmare because he, too, had forgotten how to love the real world. The nightmare began to howl, pulling Soren toward the edge. Clara realized she had one jar left in her pocket, the borrowed paradise, her most beautiful, precious dream of all. To save Soren and herself, she couldn't keep it. "Dreams are just a spark," she whispered, realizing the truth. "They aren't the fire." Clara smashed the golden jar against the dark ground. A magnificent explosion of light erupted, tearing through the nightmare like a hot sun through fog. The dragon's roar and the library's song merged into a blinding white bridge. Clara grabbed Soren's hand and ran toward the light, leaving the borrowed perfection behind forever. Clara woke up to the sound of a bird chirping on her windowsill. The magical shop was gone, and her room was just a room. But as the sun spilled across her blanket, she noticed the way the dust motes danced in the light like tiny stars. She went downstairs and hugged her parents, realizing that the real world wasn't ordinary at all. It was the greatest dream of all, because she was finally awake to see it.